Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Wuthering Waves reaction. Today we have Phrolova's EP from 2.5. This is Requiem of the Beyond. I really don't have any information on this aside from it's a song for Phrolova, and I don't really know Phrolova either. As we all know on this channel, I'm going into this very blind, so I'm excited to see what this has. The only other detail that I noticed on this song that was even somewhat familiar is that Gubman was a lyricist, so that's pretty cool, but that's the only connection I've got, so I guess without further ado, let's go!
In the dark, dreams persist. Shadowed light steals the breath.
Ooh, okay, wait a minute. I thought it was going to be very bright at first.
The sunlight, a tragic fairy tales, happy endings awry, long gone. And Emma turns around, truth and light.
Oh, it's got an odd time signature. Okay.
Fear, all is forgiven in time.
Whoa! What the hell? This is taking like 3 different turns already. I just got here. Chill. It's extremely active. I was not expecting this level of energy. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit.
Oh, silly obsession in my
And we're back down.
restless heart, chaos that turns to peace when we're
I love the vocalist tone.
Oh,
It's got a very clear tone.
longing to belong. Speak your name to the sky. Spirits stay alive. Feel it through the storm.
Ooh, what a transition.
Turns around, truth and lies. I've lost count. Sheets of song.
This is so nuts. The movement is...
It's but a failed escape, nothing's to fear, all is forgiven.
There's so much diversity in this song.
Empty drifting notes scattered, spilling away.
Just constant rhythm changes.
Requiem, acapella, night cold and bare everywhere. Weaving poetry, through breath, through air. Melodies connecting our shared history. Waiting at the world's end forever. Memories of the mind for infinite destinies. Elegia for after symphony.
The drum parts are absolutely insane.
Shadow light steals the breath. Lonely dreams, lonely dreams.
Good Lord, what is happening with this song? Again, that's gotta be one of the most active listening experiences I've had to have in recent memory. That was phenomenal. All right, so this song hit me in a way that a song hasn't hit me in a while. It took me a bit to figure out what this song meant. I've listened to this thing about 4 or 5 individual times now, just feeling out the song the way it's written. I was so shell-shocked after the first time that I was finding it hard to say anything of value, so I had to re-listen to it to make sure that my brain was on right, because this song feels like the character isn't. And for a little bit of clarity here, I don't play Wuthering Waves, so I don't know the characters, I don't know their backstories. I know that this character is new, that's about it. That's all I've got for detail. This is brilliant when it comes down to everything about it. I thought Ode to the Nameless Martyr was brilliant. I got to that a few days ago. This song is insanely good. It's just like everything about it made me second guess my own ideas of what this character is, what they're going through, who they are. It made me constantly revisit my own expectations of the music, what every section meant, what it was trying to portray. So what I got out of that was, this is a character who is a villain, not evil. And the reason I think that is because of how the song starts out toned down. And I'm like, okay, so this song is more composed. The character themselves is more composed. Everything's a little bit more logical and like answering everything with a very binary context. And then suddenly it breaks out of that entirely. Everything just starts going crazy out of nowhere. Things don't make sense anymore. The entire structure of the song shifts up. You had a 4/4, you shift to what I think is a 6/8. That's a completely different time signature. That's a completely different BPM in the song, I believe. At least I'm fairly certain it changed BPM at least once, probably more like 2 or 3 times every time it went down that like crazy rabbit hole part of the song. And that's what was so cool about this one. We start kind of sane and understanding, and then things start to break down with that anima mention. And that's cool too, because for those who don't know the word anima, that is basically the separation of logic between the soul and the mind in a way. It's basically your rational and irrational thoughts kind of clashing. So having that be the transitional lyricism in here was really cool, because the whole song was starting to do that. We were going from something much more composed and steady to something much more insane. The drums went nuts. The guitar was going nuts. The genre basically shifted entirely. And that's basically forcing this whole juxtaposition of this character starting out trying to be sane and then ending up having to go crazy as a result. Like, they don't want to necessarily have to do whatever this result is, but they know they have to in order to fulfill their goals. And sometimes being a villain by choice is what you have to do to make that happen. Not everybody's going to be happy with your decision. So that's such a deep, complex thing to get to with a character. And I've talked about it a few times before, but some characters are just written better than others. And for this EP to basically be the starting point to set the tone for this character, we're asking for a lot. Like, there's got to be so much more. If this is the beginning and they're just kind of getting you like a test of the waters for this character, there's got to be so much complexity under the skin here. And I don't know what all that is, but I'm so excited to see what that could be with a song like this that just gets so into the weeds of the psyche of the character. We had to talk about elegia in there, which is just elegies, songs of the dead. It's like there's so many things here that are opening up questions in different branching directions that's hard for me to pick out exactly what those could be given my lack of context overall. But that's what makes things so exciting about EPs for characters. It's like you never know what you're gonna get out of them, and this character already from this one song has me this excited. This was a beautiful song. You have this character who's basically a Madonna on the stage, somebody who has presence and demands attention, but is forced to be a prima donna, forced to ask for too much because nobody else is willing to, and forcing themselves to kind of take that role as the villainess, to be able to handle what needs to be done, to choose that path is such a lonely one. Lonely dreams. There's so many things in here. I could totally go off on this, but I don't want to go for an hour either. There's just so much contextually to this that's insane. Compositionally is just brilliant. I love all of the shifts and the changes in here. I can't stop thinking about it. And even in the center of this song, there's this spot that sounds really cool because it like lands in the center. Like everything found a happy medium to exist. You have the time signature of 4/4 in there, but you have the rock from the 6/8 portion of the song. So you have all of this like aggressive, more like contemporary against the grain sort of approach to the music that's not quite as orchestral and beautified as the beginning of the song was. But then you also have some of that in the basic time signature and how the song is flowing a little bit more. The beat lands on a more even tone and you're like, oh, okay, here we go. Things are starting to kind of take shape, and then it breaks down again and the character's still going through this shit. So that middle section's got to be more like a hopes and dreams moment where like you were just introduced to this character, you just got to learn about all of their woes and all of their stresses, and then it's like, but I would much more prefer to be this way, but we're still not there yet. We're still dealing with all this mess, and they return to that for the rest of the song and then end on a very somber note with the character just being alone. And it's like, she doesn't want to be. I don't feel like she wants to be. They're lonely. They're standing there on this stage. Nobody's there with them. They don't have a choice here, but they're just doing this because they know that nobody else will. They have to choose that for themselves. And this gets even cooler if you know the language of flowers and you know that red spider lilies, which were all over this video, are heavily connected to death, which seemingly this character was too, given a lot of the other visuals in the video. So it's like, okay, even more going in there. So like, she must be be connected to death in some way. I'm not sure what her abilities are, if those are directly connected or anything, or if it's just something she's fighting with on a personal level, having to deal with that and the choices she's made and just coming to terms with that. All of that could be linked together as well. It's just, this is gorgeous. I cannot stop noticing and mentioning details, but I have to at some point, so I'm going to now. But thank you all so very much for watching. If you have something else you want me to get to from Wuthering Waves, by all means, drop it down in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. But otherwise, if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!